So here we are looking at special products of binomials. With special products of binomials, we have two different kinds. One is the difference of squares, and then we have the square of a binomial. So difference of squares, you know that the word difference means subtraction, but they're not going to be, you're not going to be looking for subtraction for both of the terms or both of the parentheses. You're going to be looking for one addition problem and one subtraction. So if you look at this one right here, the reason why it's saying the difference of squares because we know that the word square means two, right? And so the difference would be the subtraction would be minus or negative. All right. So we have two squares because we have for both terms or for both monomials because these are each monomial. So for this binomial, we have a plus b and we have a minus b. So if you look here, we have a and we have b and we also have A and B here. But one is positive and one is negative, which makes us the difference. These are squared because they have the same term. So we have A and B and then A and B. And we are looking for the difference. So we have A plus B times A minus B. Now, when we are looking at the square of binomials, you're either going to have all positive or all or two negative monomials. So we have a plus b squared, which would translate to a plus b times a plus b. Or you have a minus b squared, which translates to a minus b times a minus b. So whenever you see an example, and I'm going to write it right here in green. Whenever you see an example like this, x plus 2 squared, it really expands to x plus 2 times x plus 2. And the same thing goes for the a minus b. If you see x minus 2 squared, it translates to x minus 2 times x minus 2. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at an example here. This is going to be classified as the difference of squares. And if we base it off of what we just learned in the previous slide, is because we have one positive monomial and one negative, meaning we're subtracting one of the terms and adding the other. We are going to label it just like we would. So x plus 1 goes on top and then x minus 1 goes along the side. All right, so we're going to say x times x, which gives us x squared, and then x times 1, which is 1x or just x. I'm going to put a 1 in front of it just for the visual. And then now we're going to say negative 1 times x, which gives us negative x or negative 1x, and negative 1 times positive 1, which is negative 1. So remember, the diagonal terms are those that we combine. So now I have x squared. This is 1 minus 1, or negative 1 plus 1, which gives us 0. So we don't need it. And then we have negative 1 left over, and this is our answer. X squared minus 1. Now you can really see why it's called the difference of squares, because this positive 1 and this negative 1 cancel each other out. And then 1 times negative 1 gives us negative 1, which would give us a negative 1 in our answer.